Sorry, probably the worst things in the world to deliver. Literally nothing but weight. Alright, the doorbell just rang. Guess what's arrived? Shipment number 1 of 2. There's a few things delayed which I will run you through once I've got it all. But basically, Black Box are delivering shipment number 1 this week, and then I think it's 35 kilo dumbbells, 40 kilo dumbbells, the wall mounts for the barbell, and a dip attachment, and maybe a few other things, but I think that's it. That's coming next week now, so that actually makes it a little bit better because it means I can sort of do 2 shifts on building it, which feels a little bit nicer in my head. But anyway, it's here. Guy's bringing it up, dropping the pallet, and then I'm going to have to log it into the garage, so I will catch up with you shortly and run you through what has arrived today. And as you can probably tell, I am buzzing.
Write down name on the leaf.
Excitement is high. Bet that's about to change within about 15 seconds of lugging this stuff around. I'll bring it in bit by bit and let you know what has landed this time round. Sadly, today is Tuesday. I'm not going to be able to get this built until Friday and Saturday, so very much a roller coaster of emotions at the moment, but need to get the walls painted, stencils up, etc, etc. So, still some work to do. Let's crack on. That's a whole lot of weight. And yes, if you are wondering, I couldn't find the scissors, so kitchen knife it is. Don't try this at home. $30 kilo slam ball to get things started. There's a 50 kilo one of them, which I'm not looking forward to. Dip station, which I actually didn't think was coming this shipment, so happy days. Spotting arms for the folding rack, t-shirt, and some pad attachments. Can't remember what they're for. They'll come in useful, either way. And the t-shirt, gonna be looking sick. Flat competition style bench press. 24 kilo kettlebell, utility adjustable bench press, so I've got a flat and a foldable one. 30 kilo dumbbell, number 1. This is the section I wasn't looking forward to, as it's basically just all the heavy weight. But I mean, I guess this is the section I was most looking forward to because what I'm missing at the moment is all the heavy weight, so ignore me, I think. Oh, second 30 kilo and just nailed my shin off the barbell. Nice. 16 kilo kettlebell and a 15 kilo dumbbell. Carrying 2 now because I'm feeling extra strong and warmed up. 32 kilo kettlebell. 20 kilo dumbbell. 25 kilo dumbbell. 2 by 10 kilo dumbbells, 2 10 kilo bumper plates, 2 5 kilo bumper plates, 20 kilos, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, struggled with my fingers there, and a tower of 20 kilos, 10 of them, so that's 200 kilos there, plus the other bumpers, so I think I'm good on a barbell up to about 260, 270 odd. Can't exactly remember. Just too much excitement. $28 kilo kettlebell, which we all now know you can swing from the little cable ties. Fun fact for you all there. So that is all the dumbbells, all the kettlebells, all the weight plates. Although there are a few change plates and clips to come in the second shipment, and I've got some plates down south that I'm going to bring up as well. Alright, that's pallet number 1 out of the way. And this is actually proving quite hard work. Kind of on to guesswork now. Pretty sure this is part of the folding rack. More of the rack. 20 kilo Belfast bar, which I probably shouldn't be leaning in the corner of the paint that hasn't quite been finished yet, but in fact I'm going to change that. I'm going to change that. More rack. All the bolts and screws I'm going to need. So I remember what all the padding was for from before. That is a 28 kilo, 30 kilo safety bar, which I'm very excited about. It's just one of my favourite squat variations and just a great all-round bar. So I'd completely forgotten about it, to be honest, but there we are, safety bar. More rack. That is the second shelf of a dumbbell and kettlebell rack, which is exciting, and that means that two of the things I brought in earlier were for the dumbbell and kettlebell rack rather than for the folding rack, so that's on me. I honestly don't know what that is, but that is the final piece on both pallets, so there we go. It is slowly dawning on me that I need to build all this. Today is Tuesday, and I can only really set aside the time Friday evening and most of the day Saturday, so I'm hoping to get it done by the time that England-Scotland kicks off on Saturday the 6th of Feb, I think it is. But I'm not feeling all too optimistic about that anymore, so watch this space. Quick update on the painting. So the primer didn't really do its job in a few spots, as you can see from kicking about the place. So basically just had to reprime a few of those, well basically sand them down, fill them in, go over them again in primer, and now I've painted them over in the black paint, and then there's another coat going on to finish all this off before we crack on with the build. So if you're wondering why are there terrible white spots on the wall in the background, that's why. Alright, so the big day has come, time to get all this built. I've already unpacked a few things as I've used a few kettlebells, dumbbells this week just so I can get some training in, but need to get all that rubbish out into the range or outside, need to sort of sort all this stuff, because main thing that we want to get done today, whilst I've got the help of somebody that actually knows what they're doing, is get the rack on the wall here, and then the other wall mounted stuff isn't coming until next week, which is going to go there, barbell hanger, storage plates and a few there as well. But until then, just going to try and get as much done as we can today. Going to call it a day before the rugby, as I've had a busy week. Just want to get that watched. But rubbish out, sort this all, see where we end up. Alright, task number one is getting the binary folding rack up on this wall here, which is basically the frame for it there. Got the assembly instructions up on a laptop down here, hopefully pretty self-explanatory, but we shall see. Uprights here, wall bracket there, and then there's going to be another box somewhere, but we shall find out shortly. So just plotted out these 2 points here to go in the bottom end brackets of this. Use the level to make sure that we've measured it out properly, so that that's going to be the bottom bracket there, and we're going to do the same up here. So doing the same again here for the inner bolts, which are going to be basically in there. So we just need to get a bolt here, a bolt there, a bolt there, and a bolt there. Check how high up we need to put the bracket, just measuring from here up to here, which is 204 centimeters. No, it's not, 204 millimeters. So these points here are 204 off the floor, which means once this is bracketed in, this will slot perfectly into here. Just given that I want to have this last for a fair few years, and I might have up to sort of 250, 260 kilos on it, just going to get some of this resin in the holes here, just so that they completely lock in the bolts. Right, so we've just got the bottom screws in with the resin, so we're just letting them set for 45 minutes. In the meantime, we're just measuring up to where the second bracket is going to be going in. Going to do the same process over again up there. Just Just spirit leveling from that bolt up there to get our anchor points for up here, and this will be the middle of the second bracket. Just had to move this one here in a little bit from attempt number one, as you can see, as we just couldn't get the drill lined up on the sort of grain here. So that is slightly out of line with this one down here, but given the bracket spreads the weight across the wall, that won't really be an issue in terms of weight bearing. It's like a ball sack.
Hello.
So in not using the bolts that Black Box applied, because we wanted to add the resin and the bolts that went with it, we have basically shafted ourselves, and it means that we need to now cut this off with an oscillating tool so that the whole sort of folding arm can come all the way in, because right now this is stopping it from coming in. So for the time being we're just going to build it so it's folded all the way out, and then at some point in the next couple of days get an oscillating tool, trim that down, and then we'll have the full range of folding motion again. But the beauty of keeping the original Black Box pins is that if I ever move in the future, we can just angle grind these down, paint over them, and then I've got a spare set of bolts for if I ever move and want to take the folding rack with me. So stay positive. That's all we can do. Fingers crossed, no more issues show up, but in the spirit of transparency, there you are, an honest account of how things are going. So just got these in here, and just so I can sort of better explain what I was trying to say before, those are sticking out because we foolishly didn't use the bolts that Black Box gave us. Black Box gave us. So when we pull it in here, it just jams a little bit there, but it's far from the end of the world at this stage. Just means we need an oscillating tool so that we can trim these bits off the end, and then it'll be flush with the wall. So right now I don't have a folding rack, I in fact have a half rack. So hit a bit of a roadblock here. These are pretty sizable nuts and bolts, and we don't actually have a tool big enough out of this whole lot, or these adjustable wrenches, to be able to do it. So given that it's 20 to 3, we've been at it for about 3.5, 4 hours. Granted, we've been taking our time on a few elements, and we have played around with bolts that didn't come with the folding rack. That's on us. We are going to get some oscillating tool, bigger wrench ordered, collect that from Screwfix tomorrow morning, and then crack on tomorrow on Sunday, and then hopefully get the rest of the room finished, because I mean, all the bumpers there, bench to build, adjustable bench to build, spotting arms to add, but the bulk of the work is done, to be fair. This was the only real challenging bit with the wall mounting. But that's phase one done. See you tomorrow for the rest. Good morning, another day to get things wrong. Sunday morning, just in from a 15 miler at 8:30 minute per mile pace. Data on the screen for you there. So we now have a wrench that fits these bolts. We have a hacksaw to have a go at the bolts up top. Oscillating tools are quite hard to come by, but feeling pretty confident about today, to be honest. Once this is sorted, the main piece, all this seems pretty insignificant in comparison, and we can just get straight to work because it's all just nuts and bolts and putting things together. So fingers crossed, less hiccups today. A little bit hungover as Scotland managed to beat England and actually show up for a game for once, which was nice, but hopefully this is all boxed off by the end of the day. Just for the sake of clinical accuracy, we are taking these off, taking the brackets off, and we're going to hacksaw right down so it's flush with the bolt. There's probably a life lesson we can extract from that. Take some steps back to move forwards, just to try and disguise the fact that we are quite consistently making errors here, but if I turn it into a philosophy lesson, then you might forget about that. So that's all 4 of those shaved down so that we will have some movement in the brackets again. Good work, good work. Gonna do the same as we've done here down there, and then we should be cooking on gas. So now that we've trimmed those down, we've got sort of full range of motion back. Range of motion, how relevant. back into the swinging arms here. Just for clarity as well, the whole reason that we've been using the sort of more aggressive bolts than these ones that Black Box gave us is just because it's breeze block, and because I've got some mates that can squat sort of up towards 280, 300 kilos. If they ever come to visit, if I'm back around the sort of 250 mark over a period of years, with the breeze block, just wanted to get that resin in to make sure it's just completely reinforced and future-proofed. These are great, don't get me wrong, not saying that there's anything wrong with these, but we just thought we'd add that extra layer of security. And we've paid the price for doing so, but now, problem solved, onwards and upwards.
Get in for the ride, feel the thrill, feel the high. Get in for the ride of the light. I feel electrified. I feel electric. I feel electrified. What I feel, I'm walking on the sky.
Fixed. Anyone see my rack? See where it's gone? Oh, it's just tucked in on the wall here. Never mind, found it. I'll take you through the whole process, start to finish. So, ping these out. Up and out. Up and... Not only does that make it even more secure, but I've got a pull-up bar, although I've got to kiss the ceiling every time I do one. Observe. So we're going to get to know each other very well. And there we have it, start to finish, do that in reverse, and the space just really opens up again.
Walking high on a dream, floating off on a dream, never felt so alive. I feel electrified.
For anyone wondering, this is how you correctly unload a barbell from its tube.
I've never felt like this, never felt this bliss, all the colors go high. I feel electrified. I feel electric.
Alright, so that's the base storage in there, and the sad but exciting thing is that that is actually not everything. There is another 20 kilo to come, and there is a pair of 35s and a pair of 40s to come, so some of this is going to have to hit the deck. Oh, there's a 50 kilo slam ball coming as well. So yeah, some of this will have to hit the deck. I can probably just chuck the slam balls in here. Kettlebells, I can probably give the top row to a bit more of them, and then just have the lightweights maybe under there. But that was much easier than that. Next up is the flat bench, and then utility bench over there, So it really feels like we're on the home straight as part of patch number 1. Patch number 2 is not that difficult, but a bit more wall mounting with these things here. But a lot of practice of that now, so can only go well. It took 11 minutes, so we're doing pretty well. But yeah, there we go. Flat bench done. Dip attachment for the rack, and I do have a hanger on the way for that as well. So we've just got hangers all over the place, if you haven't already figured that out. Adjustable bench is looking surprisingly simple actually. It's basically pre-made. Got to attach this down there, and then two pads here, I guess. Easy, not far off finishing, other than the pile of 20s over there, but no point in opening them until we've got the plate storage here and here. So until next time. Number 2, adjustable bench. That was very easy to make. I'm not going to say 11 minutes again because I didn't actually count it, but it was quick. It was quick. So that is that. That is shipment 1 complete. So I'm not going to ramble too long here and conclude on certain things, because I will try and get shipment 2 sorted, out of the way, filmed, and then get everything together so that you can see the whole process from start to finish. But all in all, I reckon that was about 7.5, 8 hours work. What do you reckon? Today and yesterday?
Something like that.
8 hours? Yeah, 7.5, 8 hours. Fair amount spent dicking around, bit of swilling coffee, bit of chatting, but that claimed our souls. The rest of it was pretty simple, but 2 days ago I didn't have a gym. I have a gym now, which is very exciting, so I reckon my Monday heavy squats are going to be pretty bloody exhilarating. Well, it certainly was exhilarating, as that was my first working set in the gym, and as you can see, I clipped the rack on my first set of 180 for 5, and my life flashed before my eyes. So that was an experience. Put the safeties a little lower. Lesson learned. Teething problems. Anyway, annoyingly, because of the snow, yes, to the rest of the world that has snow every year, the UK is absolutely horrendous as soon as there's any and the whole thing breaks down. How embarrassing, I know. But basically, our bins haven't been collected this week, whole load of deliveries stalled, etc, etc. So the additional stuff isn't coming this week. So what I'll do is I'll give you an update on that in part 3, which will be showing you the finished product. So I'm going to wrap up today there. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please do let me know in the comments down below. If you would have done anything differently, please do let me know in the comments down below as well. Although I can imagine there's a lot of things I could have done differently with the labour side of things, so maybe those comments aren't necessary. I've hurted my own ego enough. Thank you very much. But anyway, hope you enjoyed it. Look forward to part 3, where you'll get an overview of the entire setup, every nook, cranny, detail. It'll be the finished product. Hopefully I'll have lighting up there, a few stencils up on the walls, etc, etc. I'll have even mopped the floor. So thank you again for watching, and see you next time.